Hello and welcome to Into Lives of Women with me, your host, the Nairobi Feminist. On today's episode, we have a really special guest. And before he introduces himself, I'll have you please make sure to subscribe to the channel that you're listening on right now. And if you'd like to find out more of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube content and all our social media platforms at the Nairobi Feminist, and you'll be able to catch us live. So without any further ado, I'll have him introduce himself and we can carry on from there.
Hi, my name is Mark Ninga, or San Ninga, like as I like to introduce myself. I describe myself as a digital media human rights advocate, honestly. Yeah, I'm queer as fuck, unapologetic about that. Gay as fuck, queer as fuck. Yeah, my pronouns are he, him, and yeah, it's nice having this conversation right now. Yeah, cool.
Tell me more about the organization that you work with, GALC. Could you tell us what it does and what the functions are for the organization? Why it's so important to have an organization like that?
Oh, okay, cool. Right now it's not called GALC, it's called GALC Plus.
Okay.
Because previously people weren't feeling the whole because GALC before was Gay and Lesbian Coalition of Kenya, right?
Yeah.
But people thought it's not inclusive of the other the other people, right?
Definitely.
So that's where the plus comes in, Gay and Lesbian Coalition of Kenya Plus. No, but right now we're GALC Plus. We aren't calling ourselves Gay and Lesbian Coalition, it's GALC Plus. So what GALC does, GALC Plus does, is the main organization in Kenya where we advocate for queer rights in Kenya. Yeah. And we're thriving, we're doing that shit. Yeah. It's amazing right now.
Definitely. It's really important to have such spaces, especially with what's been going on in the community right now. And,
definitely. Yeah.
And rapes that are going on, which really are, one thing I've realized is people feel like we don't deserve our rights just based on our gender choices, which really
it's true.
Which really is wrong in itself. What's been your experience being you and just finding a way to express yourself freely?
I'd start when I was younger, cause let's say let's go back to 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I wasn't very into my sexuality as I'm cause right now I'm very into it right now. So I would say growing up into my sexuality wasn't easy, cause first of all we have all of these laws against us. So even your hangouts you have to be very particular about where you're hanging out, where your surroundings as a queer person, honestly, in Kenya. So I'd say growing up into my sexuality wasn't easy. Yeah, it wasn't easy at all.
Seeing that it wasn't easy for you, what would you like to tell someone out there, or a young boy or a young girl out there who's struggling with, finding their footing and finding out who they really are? If there's someone out there who's struggling, what would you like to share with them right now?
I'd say just take your time. I think time is the motivation. Just take your time to realize yourself. Just coming into your adulthood, take your time and just there's a whole array of sexualities, or just a whole array of designated places where you can identify as a queer person, right? So just take your time and then just vibe with whatever you're feeling at that point, honestly. And then pick and choose, just try dip your toes into that pool, and then just vibe with it. You're not vibing, cool. Next pool, cool. Yeah,
until you find your place.
Exactly, yeah, until you find your place, honestly.
And your people and your tribe, really.
And your people and your drive, honestly, yeah.
Okay, in your experience, what, if you don't mind me asking, how did your parents take it?
Honestly, Mishi, that's a very good question. Because right now, I don't think I'm open to my relatives or my family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just vibing through life,
yeah.
In the Milky Way. Honestly, if you know, you know. For me, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, because right now, I'm working for GALC Plus, right? And in some instances, like I'll just like appear in the news somewhere, so like somebody like will send me a WhatsApp message, hey Ninga, is this you? Me, I'm like, yes girlie, yeah, that's me. Like, what, sini surangu iko hapo hivyo? Yeah, it's me. So chadu nini? So I just like yo, that's a very tricky question, because honestly, like myself, I'm living my life, so
Then it
it's on
doesn't
you.
matter
Let
what
me just
other
say it's on
people
them.
say. And I
Exactly,
love
like it's
that.
on
I
them.
love that because,
Exactly,
it gets,
yeah. We're queer as fuck. Yeah.
yeah.
We're queer as fuck, gay as fuck over here. We don't know about y'all. Honestly.
I love your energy because it's true. You just it gets to a point you don't own anyone an explanation.
Exactly, because
You just
man,
need to
like
be
we're adults
yourself
right
and
now.
just
At
be
this
free
point,
to be
we're
yourself
adults.
without
Like,
unapologetically.
exactly, like you're not paying my rent, you're not paying my Wi-Fi, like you're not paying Safaricom fiber, honestly, right now. I paid for myself. So your opinions don't really matter right now.
Yeah, that's lovely. Because there's so many
Honestly,
people
yeah.
out there who are, they maybe their families have
Mm-hmm.
rejected them as a result
Honestly,
of the
yeah.
choice that they've made, and you really wonder,
Mm-hmm.
did you love
Mm-hmm.
me based on just what you thought I was, or did you really love me,
Exactly, yeah.
and although it takes time to process, I guess, for them, but
Mm-hmm,
really,
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
think as a human race, we should be able to, just be like, if that's how a person feels, we shouldn't try to,
Yeah,
explain it, understand them, because you don't have to understand. Your job isn't to understand someone. If someone says this is what I am and this is how I'm going to live my life, you have no place to come
yeah.
in and just then start trying to understand them, because that's not your job.
Exactly. But I feel, let me interject. Like, I feel like we've grown up in a very like religious, like sort of like situation, like as a country, honestly, like as a collective of people. So like
Definitely.
people are thinking, yo, you're watching like these movies, that's why you're gay. Like, but they, like some of these arguments are, people are thinking, you're watching movies, that's why you're gay. Like, man, like why though? Why? Like, I've been watching like heterosexual movies since like I grew up.
So why is this
Like, what's
strange
going
now?
on? This conversation, like, man, like, where are we going as a society? So it's not giving. So I'm like, these arguments, cause like I'm usually like the one like who handles like the social media like for Gal Plus right now, right?
Hmm.
So I'm usually like attacked. Okay, sawa, nini mashoga, like nini, you as a people, like why are you like this? Apana, these are Western thing. These are like a white people thing. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, man, we're gay as fuck. Like,
And
what can
the
we do
interesting
about it,
thing is, in
honestly?
African traditional society, there were people who identified as part of the LGBTQI plus community.
Exactly,
It's just that
exactly,
they weren't
exactly,
labeled. Now that we have to
exactly.
put
So
a
like,
label on it,
yeah,
is when people are like, no, you're trying to be something that you're not. But if you look
you're trying
down
to
at
be
your,
white.
yeah, you look at
I
your own
know.
history, you understand that it did exist. It's something that did exist.
So like that whole argument is very based on like, I don't know, like the whole like thought process. It's like it's not unachoka tu, honestly.
It's true. It's really hard to honestly find your way, and because it's harder
Mm-hmm.
for you to be yourself than it is to be
Mm-hmm.
anything else. Like regardless of whether what you identify as in life in general, choosing to
Yeah,
authentically be who you want to be is definitely the hardest,
yeah.
because not everyone is going to take it as you'd want them to take it, but you need to understand that,
Mm-hmm.
if this is how I want to live
Yeah.
my life, if I want to make mistakes, if I want to go and do some crazy stuff, it's my choice. It shouldn't be you trying to interject and be like, why are you making those decisions?
But like from a law point of view, like right now in the constitution, like there's repeal 162,
Yes.
A and C, and then 165. So both of them, no, actually, like one clause of the like one law, like over there,
Mm-hmm.
that sentence, it's like it's saying like, yo, like if you're not like having sex as like a heterosexual couple, like a male and a female, like even if you have like dildos, that's a crime, honestly,
Yes,
in the Kenyan
I know,
constitution.
I
People
know.
don't understand that. Exactly. So like it's very heterosexual people are like saying, yo, it's illegal to like be queer in Kenya. So I'm like, okay, sawa, umetumia dildo. That's also illegal in Kenya. Though, like, what the fuck?
There's so many things, it's like there's
Um,
so many things that are also illegal in the country, but people choose what is more
exactly.
illegal than the other. And does that really make sense?
Exactly. And then like I've never understood like the morality about Kenyan people, like because people will be like, okay, sawa. Yeah, like I think like being queer right now, like it's more aggravating than like smoking, like, you know, weed. Honestly,
It's
like if you're
true.
looking at it,
It's sad, but it's true.
honestly, it's so sad as a society, like where are we heading? But they honestly, like let me say something, like we're always saying that we're progressing as a society, like we're watching like queer movies and everything, but on the ground, man, like it's so different. Because after like Sheila was killed, or like like their life was taken, it was like those comments were very aggravating. Like as a queer person,
I know.
you
It
had like to
breaks
log out of the social
my heart was
media, honestly,
broken.
because
And especially
wow,
if you literally understand what was done to her, and you're saying she deserved it
exactly,
still.
yeah,
I can't
you're
believe
like,
that's where
man,
we're at.
I mean, hey, those like Twitter comments were like, wow, like we're thinking we're giving, like, man, like we're growing, like we have phones, we have like social media, like to educate us as a people, you know. But still, hey, those comments, you're like, man, what the fuck is this shit?
It's it's heartbreaking to see that we're so detached, and
I know.
and also imagine a young queer person reading such comments, seeing that one of their own has
Exactly.
been raped and murdered because of who they
Mm-hmm.
chose to identify as. You imagine what that does to that young person who's growing up and who's trying
Exactly,
to find their way.
exactly,
They're like,
exactly.
I could be the next one murdered,
Exactly. And you know, social media like flies everywhere. So like screenshots of those comments, like towards your like WhatsApp stories, your Instagram stories, are like, man, like people are being killed because of like what I choose to be as. So man, like it's a whole thing.
It really is. It's heartbreaking, but at least it shows that we still have a lot of we have a long way to go. But also at the same time, sometimes you do see the positives, that there are people out there who are trying to be inclusive and trying to let people be who they are, because it's not at least
Honestly, yeah.
we still have to be able to look at the good, because there's so much negative that surrounds us, that it's important to just look at the little bits of positivity that are there.
Honestly, yeah, like that's what drives us as a people, honestly. Yeah.
So what's been the hardest part of your journey, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's just of course I'm accepting myself, but will other people accept me?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, like you're sitting in a table of people, you just like introducing yourself, like I'm gay, or like your friend, actually like most of the time is your friend, oh, this is Ninga, like he works for like Girl Plus and everything, so like, oh, they're gay as fuck, queer as fuck, yeah. You know, like how like Nairobi can be mad, like your friend like is introducing all of your credentials up evil. So it's mad. I think like the negativity like which comes after that, like people just like look at you in a like very weird sort of situation. Yeah.
And also,
I think that's the negativity, honestly.
Yes, because I've noticed also there's the aspect of where people think it's cool to associate with you, not because they actually care about you, but at the same time they're like, oh, it's cool to hang out with, you see, I'm cool, and that aspect.
But still, like, exactly that aspect, just like tone down your gayness kidogo, like manze uber imefika, like tuko downstairs manze, like before tuingie Uber, just like kiasi Ninga, like no, like today we're not like doing that. Even if like the way you're like you're dressing, like let's today, man, we're going to a straight actually, yeah, a straight occasion today, like just like try and act mask kidogo, like don't beat your face kidogo, like yeah, just like try, like yeah, like don't like dress like that, like policing yourself as a person, like your friends. I think like yeah, that's the hardest bit of like being like growing up in my queerness as a person, like just like toning down your queerness. Yeah, that's a right sentence, toning down your queerness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's really hard to be less of yourself. You know, when someone tells you be
Exactly.
less
Yeah.
like who you are, who do you want me to be like you? We're all created differently. So if I want to express myself, I should
I
be able
know.
to express myself. But at the same
Exactly.
time,
Exactly.
but also at the same time, you also have to understand that also it helps towards keeping you safe as an individual, because we're
Mm-hmm.
still also in a point where people are still hostile. And if someone just gets drunk at, an event, and they choose to just attack you because of who you are, just
Out
based on
of
how
nowhere,
you're
honestly.
dressed,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
it's really a hard thing, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very aggravating. But I feel like in the last like past few years, like I feel like as queer Kenyans, like we've come up with like events, like Metamore,
Yeah,
Silky, like yeah, Strictly Silk, and then also Wind Down, which is coming up. Are you going? But are you going for Wind Down?
definitely. I think this one I'm going to make sure I make it.
Oh, for real?
I was so excited about the Chimano
You
one, but
better.
then the Chimano one was cancelled. I was just like, that sucked.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Just come for a wind down. Like it's very queer. Like it's very like queer-esque. Like it's very cool. So like the point
Wait,
I'm
share
trying to
share share
make,
more
like
details about the event as well, though.
um like I identify as a he him, so I like I've never like gone for that event because they don't allow like cis men like to go there. So it's cool. But the event is like it's very queer friendly. Like it's very like yeah, just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like go there, katia kila mtu, like like choma jina, like choma yote, like yeah, that's a vibe. And also Metamore, like but do you know Metamore?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever like been to
No, I
Metamore,
haven't.
the event? Hey, Metamore like like the gayest, like the queerest event you can go to in Kenya right now, honestly. Like wind down is cool, but Metamore like takes the trophy. Because Metamore, like you can dress how you want to dress, like you can bake your face, like you can like wear heels, like regardless of whatever you identify as, honestly.
Mm.
Metamore, if like you're listening to this conversation, give me like tickets right now, like for the the next event. Anyway, like yeah, Metamore is always giving, honestly, but still, like I feel like we are progressing as queer people, but is society also progressing like the way we want to progress? That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's a question.
that and
Yeah,
that's
that's the
and that's where it
question.
matters most.
Exactly.
So what's your love like been like on this journey?
Oh, on the streets.
Mm-hmm. How how's your love life been?
In the streets, I would say like as queer people, honestly, like we don't have like spaces like Metamore and like Wind Down, honestly. So like where we convene at is online,
Mm-hmm.
like the dating apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where like you meet like your next potential, like like you're like 3 week contracts, like a month contracts, and then you like move to the next one. Because man, life is moving. You also have to move.
So there's nothing
um
solid. There's nothing solid.
Exactly. Like I feel like as gay men, like we're always like moving. Like it's so annoying. So like I think like that's where like my love language and also like love life has been at. Like yeah, like it's always moving. Like it's moving like onto the next one. Yeah, like but still like there's this aspect because honestly, like I'm not trying to be shady, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like of course this is a safe space, is
Yes,
it?
it is a safe.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. No limit. No
No, because
topic
I
is
feel
off
like
limits.
I feel like I feel like queer women have like a very diverse array of like going out,
Mm-hmm.
or like and in like and in spaces like Wind Down.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wind Down is like very queer women esque. Like it's yun yao
Mm.
LBQ women yun yao. But where queer men at, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like very deep down in like Instagram and in like Grinder. Like we're very like Facebook. We're meeting over there. Like yeah. So that's why I'm saying like onto the next one, onto the next one, onto the next one. Like we don't have like that solid foundation the way like queer women like have like a very like events. Like yeah, I would say that, and it's not fair. And like who's the problem? It's us.
It's definitely.
Like we look like it's inside the room. The call is coming inside the call. Like yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we have like to look, yeah, onto that. Yeah, that's what I would say.
So okay, because you've been on a lot of dating apps. How do you ensure that you're not meeting with someone who's a murderer or someone who's just out there to just, make fun of you or just, just maybe make you a
Oh,
game?
okay. Okay.
What's your criteria?
My criteria. So I would say like I think grinder is like where like most of Kenyan men, like when you meet a Kenyan like person, like a Kenyan like queer man, like who has told you actually, oh, I've never been on grinder. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie because they've been on there. They've been on there because that's where like we meet people. That's where like we meet our like husbands and like boyfriends. So my criteria would be like, okay, cool. Send me your picture.
Okay.
Like where do you live? So like there's so like many steps in order like for us like to have like a solid meetup.
Yeah.
So like send me your picture first. Yeah, okay, cool. And then like we like reverse like Google search like this picture. Sawa. It's giving like your Facebook, cool. And then after that, like and then also like never like on the first instance, like never meet a person in their house, honestly.
Definitely.
Because that's where like people are fucking murdered, they're fucking like jumped, they're
Organs
fucking,
stolen.
like, yeah, stolen like your things, blackmailing usually happens. So like, yeah, let's like go to Java or like something like on at cafe like Kimathi Street up here, yeah, where like I can make a commotion like if I want to, just like have those like even if like somebody is like listening right now, just like have like those contingency plans, like just like meet in a public space, like in a restaurant especially because they have CCTVs, right?
Yeah.
So even if like you go to their house and then like they steal your things, at least utakuwa na documentation ya kitu, sino?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you'll have like documentation. Yeah, just like go somewhere which is public and well like established and well known for those like CCTV cameras. Like that's what we advise people as Gal Plus, honestly. Yeah, and myself too. Yeah.
Definitely. So because this is into our lives, who's the one person in your life, who's always been there for you, who's always been supportive of you, that, or that one person that did something for you that really made you feel like, wow, people still.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Kim. I don't know if you know FK Twins on Instagram.
Yes, I do.
This is me plugging them. So Kim is my colleague. Kim is my colleague, my foundation, honestly, because like Kim, I'm always like telling them, man, like this person, like them, like background check, unamtumia picha anakupatia like a whole PDF documents. After like manzi nakatia umse, like unamjua, like like I think like Kim is like my friend, like who has like been there always for me, honestly. Yeah. And then also like Kim, like everywhere I hang out, like people are approaching me, hey Ninga whiskey. Me, I'm like, okay, unajua Instagram yake text. Mbona niuliza, because we're always hanging out together,
Yeah.
people like we're like twins, honestly, at this point. So like yeah, I think like Kim has like yendo bouncer, yendo like publicist, yendo everything. Yendo social media manager. Like I think Kim is my like a very good friend as a person. Yeah.
What's the one thing that he's done for you that made you realize like we're in this for life?
We're in this for life. I think like just like telling me like nikikatia mse, then I'm like maybe like we're like in fucking deja vu, right? Or somewhere like alchemist or something. So Kim comes and like pulls up on me like, Ninga, this person isn't giving, he's not eating, apana, on to the next one. Yeah, I think like that shield of like you're a very protective friend.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm going out, like akozileza apana usimkatie. No, I know their stories on Instagram namjuanga. So Kim is like very protective about that, and like I'm very appreciative of our friendship, honestly. Yeah.
That's amazing. So what would you like? Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to share before we end this to maybe someone who's listening out there and maybe looking for, wants to give up trying to be themselves and wants to maybe please other people and just try and stick to, the norm? What would you like to say?
As a parting shot, I'd say okay, you're coming to your sexuality. We have like resources, like we have like Girl Plus. We have like a whole organization of like queer resources. Like just come through to our center, or just even text me as a person. Honestly, like my Instagram is Ninga. Just like text me like you're going through this shit, and then like I'll walk you through. Like there are so many resources, and that's the thing people don't understand as a queer society in Kenya. Like there's so many resources. Like if you want a therapist, like we have like free therapists as Girl Plus, honestly, like in a whole array of situation. So like just come through, just take your time. Take your time, understand yourself. If you're confused, like you want to talk to a person, like we have like free therapists, free counselors, like you just come through and just understand yourself. And also like don't box yourself. You think you're bisexual perhaps, just like test the waters, man. Like just like dip your feet, like dip your foot, no, your toenail up over to this pool, and then understand like where you're coming, where you want to, associate at. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Definitely. So, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And before you go anywhere, please make sure to subscribe so that you can catch all our content as we release it. I love you for listening. Goodbye for now. The Nairobi Feminist.